Many people from all walks of life across the United States reluctantly received one or multiple COVID shots solely due to the threats pushed by the Biden administration. Let's not forget when he improperly issued executive orders requiring businesses with more than 100 employees to all be vaccinated. If the business executives who succumbed to these threats had studied the Constitution and history, they would have recognized the red flags before them. Instead, fearful of the exorbitant fines threatened by President Biden and OSHA, they capitulated. Then, in January of this year of 2022, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that Biden grossly overstepped his authority. It didn't matter, though, because by that time, the White House had intimidated most people and businesses to give in to his veiled threats. I see a pattern from the present administration. They don't hesitate to issue unconstitutional executive orders and actions that may be overturned by the courts because they know that most citizens don't have a clue about the law or the Constitution, nor do most people have the intestinal fortitude to challenge authorities who cross the line. Biden's gamble is that once someone finally stands and gets a court ruling to back them, the overwhelming majority of people will have complied to the unconstitutional orders. Through deceitful practices coupled with a pen and a bully pulpit, he gets his way. He and his administration seem to have no qualms with overstepping their constitutionally defined role or outright lying to achieve their objective of control. You may recall that Dr. Anthony Fauci, who we just learned earlier today will step down from his position later this year, well, he said early on that we didn't need masks or lockdowns before he told us that he lied, and we really did need masks and lockdowns for 2 weeks, followed by 2 masks and longer lockdowns. Then Dr. Fauci assured us that vaccinations would make us safe and stop the spread. President Biden adamantly told us that if you get the shot, you will not contract COVID-19.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Well, that was a lie, spoken by the man who has since become a pincushion for COVID vaccines and has himself tested positive on multiple occasions. True science told us that people with pre-existing health conditions were more vulnerable to coronavirus. As is the case historically, most viruses more harshly affect the elderly and people with diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, compromised immune systems, and so on. For the general population of healthy people, it may be that Flintstone vitamins were just as effective or more so in preventing the spread and damage from coronavirus. Those who had existing illnesses from which they would typically recover didn't receive the medical attention they needed because fear reigned supreme, and patients were unable to seek proper medical attention. Rather than approach this unusual and deadly virus with precision, our government left the most vulnerable people to fend for themselves in isolation during the early days of COVID, and then they napalmed the general population with an unproven concoction of chemistry that has made billions of dollars for pharmaceutical company executives. Once reports revealed that people who had been vaccinated continue to contract and even die with the virus present in their bodies, we began enduring the greatest gaslighting campaign of the last half-century. The lead arsonists behind this are Dr. Fauci, President Biden sometime, and the complicit media talking heads who will do anything to help leftists maintain political control. Almost like a chorus, they conveyed that unvaccinated people without masks were causing a super spreader,